Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back, Droid Life Show. Today, episode 218. It is Friday, November 8th. I'm your host, Kellen. With me, Tim. Tim, please say hi.
Hey guys, how's it going? Tim here.
So, welcome back after a couple week break. When we last left you, were we trashing on the regular Pixel 4 and talking about how we were going to start reviewing the Pixel 4 XL? I think that's where we were, right?
When are we not trashing on the Pixel 4? It's the better way to put it.
Yeah, so that's where we last left you. We're gonna come back around to that now. We've had, I think we've both been on the Pixel 4 XL for a couple of weeks now, so we'll kind of go back over some things there if we're sticking with it, if you should buy it, any of that stuff. Also, just a bunch of other stuff to talk about. Google is buying Fitbit. There's new Wear OS watches. Tim reviewed the new Shield TV. There's a foldable Moto Razr in the wild. There's new T-Mobile stuff. I mean, there's like a lot of stuff going on. So we'll get to all that. Trivia back as always. So at the end of the show, if you're new around here, we do trivia. And we got 5 questions. We'll give 5 prizes away. And this week, we're giving away Droid Life t-shirts. So everyone who wins gets a Droid Life t-shirt. So we have a little t-shirt shop. If you're on YouTube, I think like below the video, there's like some stuff. No one buys those, but they do exist. Either way, we're going to give them to you. So everyone gets t-shirt of choice who wins. And as a reminder, for the rest of the year, we are doing charity donation pooling. I guess is that how you would call that? So a few months ago, we did a big donation drive for the Oregon Humane Society. And starting last month in October, we switched charities. And now we're doing the Cancer Research Institute. So October, November, December, any money you donate through the show, we are giving to the Cancer Research Institute at the end of the year. So if you donate live on air during our YouTube streams, we're giving 100% of what you donate to there. Every single dollar, every single penny goes to Cancer Research Institute because the hell with cancer, F cancer. Yes. So that's what we're doing. And a lot of times YouTube or Google lets people donate free money. Like right now, a lot of people are donating $5. And I think that's because Google went from giving everyone $2 of free money to donate on YouTube channels like this to $5. I'm not saying you have to give all of us your free $5, but I'm just saying if you want to donate, we are giving all the money for the next 3 months to the Cancer Research Institute.
Just donate your money.
Yeah, you really can. It's probably like a couple of clicks. With that said, we'll run through. We have a whole bunch to start. Sarah Washington dropped $2 and said, follow Tim Otato on Twitter. Nick Fisher dropped $5 and said, hey now, free $5 from Google. Damien dropped 2, said happy Friday, guys. Richard dropped £2 and said happy 10th anniversary for next month. That is true. The Droid Life will be 10 years old next month. Ethan dropped $5 and said, my cousin just lost his wife to cancer. F cancer. I never want to see anyone look like he did it. This is part of the reason why we're doing this for the next 3 months, so we can hopefully no one ever has to do with that ever again. We're really sorry to hear that, Ethan. Sorry to hear that. Brian also just dropped $5 as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a difficult subject. And so we're trying to do what we can, raise some money to give to this effort to stop the worst effing thing ever. So really sorry to hear that, Ethan. Your money will go to the Cancer Research Institute. George just dropped $2 as well. Appreciate that, George. And yeah, we also have upgraded Stream recently. So you're seeing pop-ups there. Anytime you donate, it pops up on the screen to give you a little recognition for doing that. So we've done some stuff around here, which is, kind of cool. I know you guys all noticed that Tim has this like really fancy feed asking me. He has a new rig. I do too. I have a new camera too. Well, it's not new. We're actually just reusing old cameras and we've improved the video quality. So
no one cares.
No one cares what my feed looks like. They're all like, Tim, did you get a new rig, buddy? Like, I think mine's just like blacked out on most people's screens or something. But yeah, we upgraded all around. So
yeah,
Sony cameras powering, not webcams.
Yeah. It's we're using the same lenses we typically would when we're shooting our product shots for the head, our header photos for articles. So yeah, we're using that same glass and we're using fancy technology to hook those cameras up to our computers, and then we're using that through a chat thingy.
Yeah, we didn't take the entire last 2 weeks off. We were actually working on this to get this ready for. We still have some things to work through, but
we got some stuff to work out still. Yes.
But yeah, we feel like it's greatly improved the feed. So
Yes.
more donations rolling through. Sarah Washington, another $2 says you can donate your Google Opinion rewards too. That's good tip there. I did not actually know that.
Pro
Alex dropped
tip.
$2 says big love. Damien with another $2. Happy birthday, Tim. Is it your birthday?
Happy birthday
Different
to
Tim.
me.
Damien, do you know a different Tim? It's not Tim's birthday, but I mean, I guess every day is kind of your birthday
Is it? Well, yeah, technically, I guess.
around here. Brian, $5 using my opinion reward money for the donation. There we go. All right. Thanks, Brian.
That's
I had
awesome.
no idea you could do that, but that's really good to know.
I try and donate to the stream too, just because like my Google account gets free money too, but it doesn't pop up in like our stream. Maybe it's because like I'm a moderator or something. I don't know. That would be like, I don't know. I
I
guess
think
that'd be
that's why.
wrong.
I
Maybe.
think that is, yeah. Cause I actually, no, I have like a dollar thing. I can click that. I can donate.
Yeah, I got
I'll have to
nothing.
try it on one of these shows. Like match some donations or something. Could be kind of fun.
Huh.
I'll
I
have to
hate
figure
my
out how to do
life.
that. Anyway, so lots of topics. Should we let's
Thank you
talk
for the
about
birthday,
yeah.
by the way. It's in March, just
It
to be
is.
clear.
So
Anyway,
let's talk about Pixel 4, Pixel 4 XL just for a little bit. Well, there's actually more stuff unrelated to what we're about or related to what we're about to. But so Pixel 4, we told you guys a couple weeks ago, it's probably not a phone most should buy. Battery life sucks.
mhm.
The other stuff surrounding it doesn't really make it. It's probably overpriced. Whatever, the 64 gig storage. There's lots of problems there. But so we've been on a Pixel 4 XL each for the last 2 weeks. So like I have the white. You're also on a white 4 XL, I believe. We have the same phone.
Yes. Yeah, we got the same phone.
And so
We
you
hate
wrote
it,
a
yet we can't
review.
put it down.
I know. So yeah, do you want to talk? Like, so you wrote a review. Was it last? Yeah, it was last week. Is when
Last
you
week.
wrote the 4XL. Do you want to talk a little bit about like where you focus there? What some thoughts and that kind of like why we're still both using the phone? We'll kind of get back to that point.
Yeah, sure. A lot of the pros of the device, such as the software experience, the camera, you touched on in your regular Pixel 4
Right.
review. So really, I feel like my Pixel 4 XL review was more just sort of highlighting maybe some more of the negatives of the Pixel experience. And my the main takeaway, of course, was that this is not a $900 smartphone. And if you
Yeah.
buy it for $900, I hate to say, but you've been pwned by Google because now we know for sure that it's getting a good discount on Black Friday, as we knew it would, as we told y'all it would.
Mm,
Listen to us,
yeah.
guys. Don't buy
Yeah.
Pixel phones when they launch, man. Anyway,
Mhm.
so the main takeaway, of course, with the Pixel, still pretty good camera, except they have not really improved the video recording experience. No 4K at 60. We learned they're doing that because of their own storage limitations, which again brings me back to this not being a $900 smartphone. 64 gigs is not a decent base for $900. Um, that we went through this smooth display scandal, where and no 90 hertz under 75% brightness. Again, this was likely due because battery sizes in these phones, or the battery life in general is just not ideal. And Google's like, man, we got to try and get as much juice out of these batteries as we can. So another reason that these phones they might be overpriced.
Right.
Uh, the camera experience, no ultra wide angle. Again, every phone that's a flagship device seems to be launching with an ultra wide lens these days. So $900 on the Pixel 4 does not get you that. Um, I feel like I could go on and on. Only 6 gigs of RAM in this $900 device as well. Not ideal. Definitely not a deal breaker for me. At least from our software experience. If the phone is smooth, like, and that's why I'm still using it. If the phone wasn't smooth with its 855 and 6 gigs, we wouldn't be using it. But the camera, the still photography is there still, as a Pixel should have.
Right.
The 6 gigs of RAM, it's fine. The performance is there. It's gonna get software updates. So really, this phone comes down to what you truly value from an Android device, and the Pixel fans are probably gonna love it. I have a problem with it not having a fingerprint reader, because as you discovered on Halloween, when we're dressing up like zombies and ghouls, face match does not work. Also, when I'm laying in bed and I've got my face kind of partially covered by the blankies and stuff, and I'm scrolling through Twitter, like face match doesn't work for
Yes.
that. I have to like reveal my face, and like I don't want to come out from the covers.
Right.
I want to stay under the covers. So there's like these slight things that really kind of grind my gears, if you will, for the Pixel 4 and 4 XL. However, still using it because
Yeah.
it's a smooth experience. The hardware itself is really good. The in-hand feeling of this device, even for having a a relatively large display, is good. It's completely usable. I like the way it looks. Still photography's good. Can it be better? Oh, absolutely. Is it overpriced at 900 bucks? Yeah, I think we've made that argument. I think we you can you can definitely say to a certain truth and degree that yeah, it's overpriced. Um Other than that, if you can accept that fact or if you get it on Black Friday at a discount, then there's nothing wrong with buying the phone. I think it's a good phone. I just think it could have been so much better. And Google has a tendency to do this. I think we all know this. That Google just kind of screws up in major ways. Uh, and fingers crossed, maybe the Pixel 5 won't be a major screw up. And the thing is, the Pixel 5 is going to start leaking any day now,
Any day
and
now.
we're going to have full hands on from the Ukrainians and the Russians. So
And
bring on the
Vietnamese
Pixel
and
5, and
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
so I'm kind of in the same spot you are. Like I've been on the Pixel 4 XL. Your thoughts, I sort of mirror those. Like there's these things that annoy the hell out of me. Like not having a fingerprint reader is one of those things that I've slowly begun to like really miss. Um the display, like we'll talk about this because there's a November Android patch came out this week and they tweaked the 90 hertz a little bit, including on the 4XL where they basically turn 90 hertz on almost all the time, which is great. It's the way it should have been out of the box. The 4 is a little bit different, but so like we've kind of got around that. So I'm fine with that now. And the camera's fine. Like I don't take video with my camera. So like that doesn't bug me. It still takes great stills, but I do miss the ultra wide that I've had on a bunch of other phones this year, including the OnePlus 7T. But yeah, like the hardware's nice. In hand, phone feels and looks pretty great. I like most of the stuff. The forehead thing is annoying, but I guess I'm just kind of used to dealing with things that aren't always perfect. Because it's a Google phone. But yeah, I like the software experience. This is the software experience I prefer. So there's these things where, yeah, I like this, I like that, I don't like that, don't like that, and I'm still using it. Um, I need to like figure this out because there's got to be like a thing I can pinpoint to say this is still why I'm using this, because the OnePlus 7T we've talked a lot about recently because it's probably the best alternative for people who are skipping the Pixel 4, right? Because it's that stock-ish Android experience with some enhancements, but they're updating it really fast. It already has Android 10. It's got the triple cameras and they've improved the cameras on there. It's got the nice design and build and all that stuff, and it's affordable. But I tried to switch back to the 7T and it lasted not very long. I think I did like a day, but there's something about like Google's phone. And again, I have to figure this out because I probably need to like share these thoughts on why. But I pulled out the 7T, used it for a day again, and was like, I don't love this thing. And I think it's probably like the build. It's heavy in metal and glass, whereas Google's phone, even though it's all glass, like this doesn't feel like glass. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm back on Pixel 4 XL, and I don't see anything that I'm going to switch off of anytime soon.
Oh, well, all right. A couple of things in the chat I want to get to. Sahil is asking, has battery life improved since you got it? I believe it's supposed to get better with time as it learns your usage habits. Nah. Nah, not
No.
really.
Still kind
Still
of
kind of
around like that 20%
sucks.
mark towards
Yeah.
like the late or like early evening, like 7, 8 o'clock. If I've been using it fairly heavily, I'm like 25%, which is kind of borderline scary. I know that's still a quarter of battery life, but when I hit 20%, I'm always going, because I swear from 20 to 0% always goes by like that. Like if you ever
Oh,
hit the
yeah.
20% mark and you're like,
You're
well,
done.
that should be good. It's like a fifth of the battery. I'll be great. And then you leave the house, all of a sudden it's like at 4%. And you're like, wait a minute, what the? So yeah. I think battery life's it's pretty much where we said it was.
Yeah, I don't it's very average. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's gotten better. I wouldn't say that, oh, it's miraculously adaptive battery has changed the game. No, I wouldn't say that. I also saw another interesting question from Brandon Fisher, a constant trivia winner, if I'm not mistaken. He says, "What gets cut from the 4A?" And he's referring to the Pixel 4A.
Mm.
I think that's actually a pretty interesting question, right?
No
Because
radar.
Well,
No
yeah, of
Soli.
course. No radar, no smooth display. They'll get rid of the quad HD option on the XL. It'll just be full HD, I assume. The hardware is gonna go. This hardware will probably look pretty similar, but it'll be plastic, I assume. So a lot of this, the things that even make this an upgrade from the 3 is what's going to be gone. Um, Heck, there might even be 6 gigs of RAM because I assume that costs like $20.
Yeah, probably.
God, Google
Yeah,
is so cheap.
processor probably won't be quad HD. I doubt there'll be radar. You know what's gonna suck though is if they throw like a ultra wide angle in the in
No
the
way, they wouldn't
just
do
just
that.
watch there be an ultra wide angle in the 4A.
Yeah, and Sarah is asking, I think someone else asked, so what, they re-add the fingerprint reader? Yeah, probably. It's no big deal. I mean, it's super easy to implement. I assume that technology is super cheap. It makes sense. I mean, that's what the A line is for, right? It's about being more affordable. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
because they probably won't want to have all the Face ID stuff. So yeah, I'll probably have a fingerprint reader. Random note, my
Yeah.
dad's in the chat asking if I'm drinking beer. That's seriously
Oh,
my dad.
your dad is in the chat.
What
Oh,
up?
he's asking
What up,
about drinking
pops?
it. Hey,
Yeah.
I hope your son isn't drinking too much during work hours. We try and police each other on that, I think, especially on
Sparkling
Fridays.
water.
Oh, yep, there you go. I got water too. Um,
Pretty funny.
but yeah, so I think a few things will obviously be different. I would wait, if you're interested in the Pixel 4, I would honestly wait for that Pixel 4a. I mean, why not? We saw that the 3a and 3a XL were pretty darn successful devices according to Google, so people seem to love it.
I actually like them a lot. So it'll be I'm looking. I think a lot of people are looking forward to the 4A and 4A XL for sure.
I think so. Dominion 09, $10 donation, $9.99. Thank you very much. Says, is the Pixel XL, I assume the Pixel 4 XL, worth the price difference from the OnePlus 7T? No. No, and I think that's the
Yeah,
main
right?
point
Like,
we're trying to hammer home is that no, this device is not worth $900.
yeah, because it's what an
However,
extra $300 over the 7T. Like that's
at least, yeah,
yeah. If for
that's
64 gig.
yeah. So if you do want this device, just wait for Black Friday, get it for a few or a couple $100 off. And if you really want this device, I mean, it's still got a way better still camera than the OnePlus phones by a mile. I
Yeah.
still think OnePlus cameras are just not very good.
Yeah, I think they've gotten better, but yeah,
They've gotten better.
the still photography on this phone, these Pixel 4s is great. And the OnePlus 7T, you're going to drop down a little bit there, but you also gain an ultra wide. And the battery life is like 2 days on a 7T, whereas it's like 6 hours on these Pixel 4s. So there are some trade-offs there. There's some good things from the 7T, some good things, but it's hard. And that's why, again, I'm trying to figure out like what the actual thing is that keeps me coming back to the 4XL when I have a 7T like on the desk behind me that I could switch to. And I tried to, and for some reason I went, I just don't really want to go back. I don't know. I got to figure that out so that I could share, because everyone keeps asking 7T4, what should we get? What should we get?
I would just go for the 7 Pro. And if y'all really want a real phone.
Yeah, it's got a curved display though, so that's why I'm not really suggesting that. Personal preference.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tim and I guess bottom line is we're both still using the 4XL. We both aren't really sure why, and we also don't know when we're going to stop using it. It's very weird. What a weird position to be in. So yeah, I know that's not, clarity for anyone, but that's kind of where we are.
Yeah, Anthony's asking, maybe we are waiting for the McLaren edition of the OnePlus 7 Pro 5G or whatever.
Yeah.
Nah, not really. That's too fancy for me. I don't need a McLaren phone. Ridiculous. Typical influencers, says Ben Jacobs. Can't make up our mind. Or if we do make up our mind, it's all ridiculous. Anyway.
Hi, Ben. Okay, so related to Pixel 4 stuff, November Android security patch I mentioned came out this week, and there was a couple of tweaks there. What's that?
I don't have it.
Oh, because you don't manually flash these things. Yeah, so I don't know why it's taking so long to come out. But a lot of people haven't gotten it yet. I keep forgetting that because I download files and do it right away. So in the update, so it came out to all the Pixel phones 2, 3, 3A, 4. No OG Pixel, which we'll talk about in a second. But this update was supposed to improve the smooth display, so the 90 hertz stuff. And then there's camera quality improvements, although I don't know that we've completely figured out what those are. And I'm talking just Pixel 4. So with the smooth display stuff, as it turns out, for the 4XL, it's basically on now at all times. You used to have to go in and force it in developer settings to stay on all the time. Now it's pretty much on all the time. As for the 4, though, because Google obviously knows the battery life is terrible there, they allowed it to stay on more often, but it still kicks on at like 42% or something on the 4, unless you force it on. But then there's issues there. So they tweaked it slightly. They're allowing it to kick on more. I just imagine that's going to mean worse battery life for everyone than they already had. Unless have you been forcing 90 hertz on this whole time, or
I think
you
so.
remember? Yeah, I
might
was,
have
because I just was
turned it
like,
off.
look, if I'm gonna review this phone that has this feature that's supposed to be one of the standout features, I'm gonna use it 100% of the time. So that's good, because that's good that they turned it on for the 4XL. It's the way it should have been from day one.
I mean, it's just a
It's
completely
just-
half-baked feature. It's just so Google.
Well, on top of that, XDA looked into brightness and found that they like eliminated the top super brightness from it, because we all complained about in reviews how the brightness on this phone is way too low. Like if you take this phone outside and the sun's shining like it actually is today, you can't see it even at max brightness. Like I find that I'm running the phone at least at half or higher than 50% brightness all the time, because I constantly need to see it's not bright enough. So XDA found that that's because they took away, they like limited brightness on purpose, probably again because of battery consumption. I just don't understand why Google is so terrible at battery life. And we've talked about this on previous shows, where every time there's a new version of Android, they talk about how they've tweaked this adaptive brightness and doze and all these things, right? And yet battery life on Pixel phones is almost always some of the worst. I just don't understand why Google, who creates the software and now the hardware, can't figure out how to make these things work to get better battery life. But so 90 hertz tweaks. Wrapping back to the original Pixel news. Original Pixel is almost dead. We thought
It's
it was cut off for good, because Google, like I said, they updated all the Pixel phones except the original Pixel XL. And then Google told The Verge, actually, no, it's not the end. There's one more update coming in December, and it'll combine some stuff from November, December, kind of wrapping up any sort of bugs they feel like they need to fix here at the end. And then that's it. So if you own an original Pixel XL, game over. It's time to upgrade. I'm not sure where
Pour
you're going
one
to upgrade
out.
to, but
for the OG.
the OG.
Speaking of which, our trivia.
yeah. I was just
Oh,
gonna
okay, I
say,
was gonna
go
say-
for it. No, it's your trivia. You hype it.
Yeah, speaking of which, our trivia this afternoon will consist of purely nothing but OG Pixel trivia questions. So, if as I tweeted out today through my Twitter at TimoTitato, brush up on your OG Pixel knowledge, because it will be tested.
Yeah, prepare yourselves. Oh, wow, weird. Sorry, the chat gets a little weird sometimes. Okay, so yeah, that's most of the news. You mentioned this though about not buying Pixel 4s because Black Friday. And again, we've talked about this on numerous occasions, but every year Google releases their Pixel phone, their new one, and then everyone who likes new things right away, the minute they release, buys them. And then Black Friday shows up a month later, 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, and Google discounts them by a couple $100 and pisses us all off. And a lot of people like demand refunds and all this stuff. And Google, it looks like they're going to do it again this year. So all the Black Friday ads are starting to drop. Best Buy for sure is doing straight 200 off 4 and 4XL. And if you activate with a carrier, they'll give you another 50 off. And those are the unlocked models. If you buy the carrier variants like Verizon, AT&T, Sprint through Best Buy, I think they're doing like $450 off as long as you sign a contract. But if you just go unlocked, 200 off, we're assuming Google is just going to match that and do a 200 off deal. If you go to like Target, they're handing out hundreds and hundreds of dollars in gift cards, like $400 for the Pixel 4 and $550 in gift cards if you buy a Pixel 3. I have no idea why they're doing this. I still think it might be a typo, but so far it's still there. So yeah, if you bought a Pixel 4 or 4 XL day one, which was 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, Google's gonna, chop 200 off here in a couple weeks. Every single year. It's so messed up too, because like I'm the type of person when a new thing comes out that I really want, I'm like, okay, I want to be one of the first to have it. Like I'm going to buy this now. And I think most Pixel people do that. They want it right away. They want to see the new features or whatever. And then every year on Black Friday, Google goes, sorry, buddy. Thank you, early adopters, for helping fund this system. We're going to give everyone
it's really messed up. It's very rude. But we knew it was going to happen. So, if you still fall for it 4 years later, I mean, whose problem really is it? So, it's your problem.
It's just so messed up.
Yeah, real quickly, Larry Mitchell in chat says, cool sweater, by the way, Tim. Not a sweater. This is an original Marcus Mariota Oregon Ducks number 8 jersey. Thank you very much. Before he was drafted into a system that was not made for him with the Tennessee Titans. Really upset with what they did to him because he was God's gift to football. God's gift to football. I kid you not.
Anyway. The Oregon Duck fan base is something else. That guy is obviously a complete bust in the NFL, but they will never agree with you on. They'll blame the 6 coaches he's had and offensive coordinators. Apparently he just doesn't click with anyone who's a coach in the NFL, but it's all, it's never his fault.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I like the Ducks, but there's blinders.
Brandon brings up a fantastic point. He says original, they have 7 different jerseys each year. I think they have, I think the combination they said it was last week, there was thousands of different jersey combinations they've got. By original, I just mean it's a Mariota OG Ducks jersey. Yeah. OG doesn't really mean anything, is Snoop Dogg really like an OG? I don't know.
Quickly, Dave Bonine has a question for you. He dropped $2 and says, Tim, you got any final thoughts on the ROG 2? You have 30 seconds.
So I haven't touched the ROG 2 just because. So again, brought this up. So I did the unboxing, and a lot of times I'll gauge viewer and reader interest based on the initial unboxing. The ROG 2 had, I would say, 0.1% interest among our community. Yeah. So I sort of took a step back from the ROG Phone 2. I've been using the Pixel a lot. I might boot back up the ROG Phone 2. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, the thing is, I can tell you what the phone is in 5 seconds. It's great for gaming. Awesome battery life. Not so great camera experience. The software is it's painful unless you just use the vanilla version of it that they offer. Other than that, I mean, it's just made for gaming, and it's got awesome battery life. 6,000 milliamp hour. It's 3 times a Pixel 4. So, I mean, for what it is, it's good. I mean, it's expensive, so keep that in mind. But yeah, there you go.
Thoughts on the ROG? Great. Okay, so moving out of Pixel, should we talk Google other stuff? Fitbit?
Yeah, we can talk Fitbit. I'm just really upset. Someone, Bad News Brown, says no good NFL players came from the University of Oregon. That is just ridiculous. I'll touch on this after the show when we get into our random sports topics. But anyway, let's continue.
Bring it back up, Bad News Brown.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm going to get you.
Defensive players are about it, yeah. Okay, so Google announced this week that they are acquiring, will at least attempt to acquire Fitbit for what, $2.1 billion. As a sort of related note, the minute that news dropped, they also said we're still fully invested in Wear OS. Because, they have to keep telling us that because we keep saying to them, no, you're not. So Fitbit for $2.1 billion. Everyone has rightfully freaked out who owns a Fitbit because, it's Google and it's all your data, all your health and fitness data and sleep data, all this stuff about you that you didn't want a big corporation to own. Google is now about to own it. They did say all the right stuff. We're going to keep everything private. when they do this merge, they'll let you delete the data if you want. I'm sure they'll probably do some other things to probably try to keep most of it private. But yeah, Fitbit stuff going to Google. Yeah, and I know, again, rightfully so, that should kind of scare people a little bit. What they said, though, is this will allow them to bring the best of their smartwatch platforms and health applications together. I don't know what applications they have other than Fit. So I'm assuming Fit and Wear OS, they're going to come together with Fitbit and all of that stuff. And, we assume that means they'll probably make a smartwatch. The thing there is, well, we've talked about how Google, like, they could make a smartwatch today and it'll suck because there's no processor to use other than Qualcomm's garbage 3100. So they shouldn't build one yet. But there's possibly a new Qualcomm chipset in the works. The 3300, I believe, has been outed in at least one report since we last were on air. So 3300 could be an actual wearable chipset that's semi-modern, unlike the 7-year-old, 8-year-old thing that Qualcomm's been shipping. So if that happens and Google works with Fitbit, they build a hardware like that, that's great. It could be a nice thing. It could be a long time though. I mean, Google has to get this approved, and then they will then work together to maybe build something. Like, we might not see a Fitbit and Google product together for 2-3 years, maybe even longer. So while this happens, it doesn't mean a lot yet. But if it gets approved, then, we'll start maybe talking about how that hard. I mean, like Nest, Google acquired Nest, and they were run by some people who couldn't get everything straight that they wanted to do. But how long was it before Nest came out with anything that wasn't just a thermostat and a drop cam replacement? Like, it took a while. So if they buy Fitbit, it's going to be some time. Let's see. So Tim mentioned, no, you didn't mention this. Somebody in the chat mentioned a Moto 360. I think they said Kellen, I can't remember who said. They said Kellen in a couple of months going to be rocking the flip phone Razr and the new Moto 360. So yeah, there is actually a Moto 360 coming out, the 3rd gen. It is not made by Motorola. I know it's called the Moto 360, but a company, they sound super legit. Where's the name? Where are they? Oh, eBuy Now, and that's little e buy now, all one word. eBuy Now e-commerce. They have licensed the Moto 360 name and the Motorola logo, and they made a Moto 360 3rd gen.
Genius.
It actually looks like it could belong to Motorola. It's designed well. It's got all the newest specs you can have in a Wear OS device. So it matches the Fossil Gen 5 spec for spec, 3100 gig of RAM, 8 gig storage, NFC, GPS, heart rate, all that. It has all the stuff. I'm sure it could be a solid Wear OS. Yeah, it's probably just like the Fossil Gen 5. It's the exact same platform. But yeah, it's a Moto 360. It costs $350, so it's not cheap. What does the Gen 5 cost? $295. Yeah, so it's $50 more than Fossil Gen 5, and it's made by eBuy Now eBuy Now e-commerce. Can't even get this name straight. So it looks great.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looks totally fine. I don't know what people are freaking out about. I mean, everyone's heard of eBuy Now. Come on now.
Sure they have.
I think so. Motorola has a long history of licensing out its name to these types of companies that make,
including eBuy Now. Yeah,
of course. So this is nothing new. No, it's not a scam, although it just really kind of sounds like a scam, but it's not a scam. So
they registered moto360.com. Like, you can't even,
you know how much that probably cost them? Quite a bit.
You can't even buy it through motorola.com. So again, remember, it's just, I don't think so Motorola also has this other, I shouldn't say Motorola, I think powered by eBuy Now, has this other third-party accessory store where they've licensed other stuff. I don't have the
baby
website
monitors,
open. Yes,
whole bunch of stuff.
And I believe that website's also run by eBuy Now. So they've made other licensed Motorola stuff. They're also doing this, and for some reason they have Moto360.com. Oh man.
I mean, it's not Motorola and it's not Lenovo. But since when has Motorola been Motorola? It's been almost a decade now. So really,
So pre-orders open in November. Oh, it is November. Can you pre-order this thing now? We asked for one. I don't know that I ever. No, it still says sign up. This is coming soon. Again, it looks solid, but Who knows what? Is this thing ever going to get an update? Not that Wear OS gets many updates, but
Well, yeah, what updates? It doesn't
I
need to
don't
get
know.
updates. That's you know, Wear OS really pisses me off. And the whole Google buying the Fitbit thing, we've been talking about Google really taking the wearable market seriously. By that, I didn't mean just go out and buy the biggest competitor that Apple Watch has. I meant, make your own thing that's good. Uh kind of ridiculous.
It is kind of
Uh
ridiculous.
I said to you, instead of just buying success, they should make their own. And you said, well, Fitbit, they're kind of struggling right now. And like that's totally understandable. They might be struggling, but at least everyone's heard of Fitbit. And what was nice about Fitbit is that they were like a standalone thing, right? They were their own platform. They weren't owned by Facebook or one of these data driven companies. And now that they are, I don't know. I wouldn't be so keen on it. Not that I really don't care about Google collecting my data. I'll be the first one to say Google's got all my stuff.
You and I are weird like that, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, but if you're someone who does care about that stuff, then you've got to stay away from Fitbit now. Just makes sense to me. But
I think a lot of people will, to be honest. And there's a whole bunch of other options in the fitness world. The thing that sucks for people like that is they probably bought a Fitbit like band 10 years ago or whenever they first started, right?
sure.
Maybe they're in the Versa or whatever those smartwatches are, and they have all this Fitbit data that's going back years and years and years. And now Google is probably going to own it, which makes the people feel a little uneasy.
Yeah. I don't wear wearables. So really so Brandon Fisher brings up Fitbit is selling your information to health insurance companies. Dude,
Huh.
I don't know anything about all of that.
Which might
However,
be worse than Google, but
sure, but it totally makes sense, that they would, like, from a business standpoint, I might be on their side to do that, but, F the private insurance companies. First of all, I can say that,
yes,
as
100%.
a super liberal progressive, F the
Apologies if you work in the insurance industry. Yeah.
yeah, sorry. But anyway, yeah, Google buying Fitbit, I'm not a huge fan of just because I really wish Google would have just stuck by their guns and either kept it what they were doing with Wear OS and Google Fit and let it just fail like we sort of expected it to. Just because they hardly do anything with the platform anymore. They don't emphasize it at their developer meetings or anything like that. And just let it die because the Apple Watch, as we know, is the new one is out and people are absolutely loving this thing. They're calling it the greatest wearable ever. I've seen Android bloggers who will not shut up on Twitter about how great the new Apple Watch is. Man, I just
Right.
want to
I've
strangle
seen a
them.
couple at least.
Yeah, so everyone loves the Apple Watch, but I don't have an iPhone, so I'll never understand what it's like. I've never had an Apple Watch on my wrist. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It looks great, but yeah, I'm not gonna switch to an iPhone. Quickly, we have to revert back just for 1 second. We did miss a Brett Wright donation, and I saw it,
Uh-oh.
and I meant to toss this up earlier
Sorry,
during
Brett.
the Pixel 4 talk because this is a big one. He dropped $2 and said, "Do you recommend the smaller Pixel 4 or the Sega's phone?"
That's a tough one, actually.
That is actually pretty tough.
No, it's pretty easy. I mean, the Sega's phone is clearly it's got the dual SD card slots, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yes,
Pixel 4 has no expandable storage. Sega's has 2 slots.
two. And it has some special like Wi-Fi gaming thing that they made up that didn't actually
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah, we played Riptide over
Yes, we
Bluetooth or
did.
something like that to CES that one time. Yeah,
Yes,
so
we did. So
I
yeah,
think there's a
the official answer
clear
there
winner.
is the Sega's V2. V squared?
Be squared. Be squared.
V squared. Ben Jacobs, $2. Google Play Cred Dono. Google make a Pebble like watch. I mean,
I don't. Yeah, that's another thing I don't get.
it's the
People's
Pebble thing.
love for Pebble, and I'm a
Let's
super
talk about
contrarian.
that.
I'm super contrarian when it comes to Pebble, man, because everyone loves Pebble. I can't stand Pebble. I don't want to look at a little e-paper display on my wrist. Man, what is that thing?
This is the Pebble replacement.
Oh, okay.
I
Nah,
put it up there, but I'd have my autofocus off, so.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you in Dustin Rivera just dropped $5. Thank you, Dustin, and said Google, make an Apple Watch. I don't know exactly how they would do that, but I just want them to make a watch so we can see then again, I don't, because we talked about Snapdragon Wear 3100 is garbage, and so we just want them to wait for the next one anyway. They're in
Yeah.
kind of a tricky spot there. Okay,
Xiaomi's got their Apple Watch coming, so
yes, they do. Well, it's not coming here, but okay. So let's talk about this Pebble thing. I had like 2 or 3 different Pebbles. Never liked any of them. They were kind of nice because they lasted forever and they were thin and they fit on your wrist, but they had giant bezels and this e-paper thing, and like they were clunky to use. I did never like that. There are people that absolutely love Pebble, and
they will
Pebble.
kill
Like,
Pebble.
where did Pebble get sold to? Who bought Pebble? Was it Fitbit?
I forget. It might
I
be.
think it was Fitbit. And then they basically shut it down because there was like nothing they could use out of it, right? And so all these Pebble people like pooled resources together, I think, to like keep some of the stuff working in the background. Yeah, see, it was Fitbit. To keep some of the stuff working in the background. And we still get people all the time. They're like, I still love my Fitbit, or I mean my Pebble. We're always like,
Pebble.
you what? It's been like 5 years. Anyway, so the next gen is this. So this is Fossil's hybrid HR that was announced this week. Fossil just sent me this one today.
Right.
And it runs an e-paper. So it's the story behind this thing was at one time interesting, and then now it's not really. Like a month or so ago, we thought there was a report, I think from wearable.com. I think that's who had that. They said Fossil's secret tech that Google bought was called codename Diana, which meant combo of digital and analog. And they said it was basically like a hybrid kind of watch technology. And that's what Google's apparently licensed or bought from them. They didn't license it, I don't think. In January, and we went, oh, cool. And then a couple days after that, we found listings for Diana called Hybrid, Collider, and Charter, I think it was. And sure enough, it was like a hybrid combo with an e-paper display, current specs, very much like the Gen 5, although it's not a full smartwatch, it's hybrid and has this e-paper thing. And like some of the icons and stuff looked similar to Wear OS. And so people were like speculating that this might be this weird Wear OS fork and that this was going to be the next cool thing. So it's now official. And as it turns out, this is not a Wear OS fork. It just works through the Fossil Smartwatches app. And Fossil also says this is not what Google bought. So now we're just back to, well, this is an e-paper hybrid that doesn't run Wear OS. So the interesting part of it is kind of gone. I do have one, and I think this is like, I probably will share some little thoughts. I don't know that I'll actually review this thing. But for Pebble people, I'm bringing it back to that, this is kind of like your next option. Probably not as advanced as some of the things that Pebble was doing. I don't know what still works in Pebble, but this thing like shows notification. It tracks heart rate, sleep, which is kind of cool. Shows you weather. It gets 2 weeks of battery life, and does steps and fitness. Like it actually does quite a bit of stuff. And then you get more information because it's on that e-paper display. Yeah, it seems fine. Yeah. Like there was this interesting part about it when we thought it was maybe like Google's secret tech and all this, but it's apparently not. So anyway, I have one. If you guys have questions, I will certainly.
No one has questions.
Yeah, no, they don't. I was gonna say I'll certainly like relay back anything. No, they don't. So yeah, again, like the interesting part is the story that turned out to be nothing, not actually the watch now. It's actually
like
funny
super
how that
depressing.
works. So anyways, putting the watch back on, we will never talk about this ever again. You mentioned Xiaomi. So Xiaomi announced the Mi Watch this week, which is a Wear OS watch. Probably not coming to the US. It's skinned Wear OS, which is the first time we see someone skin Wear OS. I think it's only because they're allowed to do that because it's in China. Like you can't sell a skinned Wear OS watch anywhere else. Google will say, It looks kind of like an Apple Watch clone, although it looks like it's designed horribly. Like it's thick. It's not sleek and curved like an Apple. It actually looks terrible. But it has like the same button placements and stuff. Anyway, it's not coming here. It's like a couple $100 should you find it, import it, but probably not gonna. I don't even think I'm gonna try to import the Xiaomi Mi Watch. That's how bad I think it looks.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, that's wearable news.
All right.
Is anyone still here? Or wearable news? These
No one
really do.
cares
And
about
unless it's a Pixel watch, no one cares. I shouldn't say that. People actually like Fossil's Gen 5. Like all the coverage we do about Fossil watches, the actual smartwatches, people kind of get excited about them. I'm not going to lie.
Good.
Okay. You want to talk Shield TV? I think since we've been
Yeah,
on air, the Shield TV is like really official, and you secretly had the little tube guy, and now I bought the big guy, the Pro. I have a Pro out there, mostly for the
you got a
remote.
Pro.
Well, I just wanted the remote, and they're not going to sell the damn remote for a while. And you told me the AI upscaling is great. Anyway, like, you talk. Shield TV tube. Is
Yeah,
it
so
great?
Shield TV 2019. I got the little tube guy. Um, Same processor as the Pro. So the tube is just marketed as not really for the hardcore kind of gamers, the Plex server media guys. We all know what Plex is used for, and it's certainly nothing legitimate
We
or
love
legal.
our Plex Bros. Yes. Very
So,
legal. Everything legit about our Plex Bro crowd.
of course, we love you all. However, you're
Yeah.
pirates.
Yes, Riggs, I
So,
did return the fold. Sorry.
oh, that's right. So new Shield. Super excited about it. Sandoval, we'll get to your thing. I have to go while my mind is still on
Yes,
Shield.
go.
So the big change, of course, is that that AI upscaling, and boy, is it cool.
Is that all that
And
matters, really?
oh
About this
yeah, no.
thing? Yeah.
And like that's about it. And so the
Yeah.
funny thing is, I traveled down to Santa Clara on behalf of Droid Life to visit our good friends at Nvidia, and they were showing off what's new. And they said, hey, we don't pump out hardware like everyone else, because when we do, we want it to be meaningful. We want to actually have something that's going to kind of up the experience of our users. And they touched on the remote pain points that people have with the older design of the remote, and I was one of them. Like, I could not stand the little remote. Um, God, it was awful. And they talked about upscaling. So anyone who didn't already know, the Shield TV, the 2017, pretty sure the 15 had it as well. It was a basic upscaling. However, the 2019 AI upscaling, so they fed an artificial intelligence movies and TVs, and thanks to the magic of machine learning, this AI is able to take HD content, specifically content like say Disney content on Netflix, which probably won't be there long because of Disney Plus. So say Coco, for example, Disney limits that stream to HD, from, even though it's a 4K title, to HD through Netflix. And so with this auto upscaling enabled, um, the quality of the resolution goes way up. I tried to show pictures of it in my review, but due to DRM and things like that, it's really hard to take a screenshot inside of Netflix.
Mhm.
So that was that. It works inside of YouTube and Amazon Prime and Netflix, and only for certain content up to 30 frames a second. So it has its own limitations, of course, but when it works, yeah, into my eye, it was like worth every penny, man. It was so amazing. The problem is that Nvidia, when they were showing it off to me in Santa Clara, is that they were showing it on this $10,000 LG OLED TV,
Of
which was like
course.
had the blackest blacks, and it looked so good. And then I got home to my $1,000 Vizio 4K panel, which hey, it's 4K, but like it just
It's not
wasn't the
quite the
same.
same. Yeah.
It was still good, but it wasn't. So if you're someone who spends a ton of money on your home entertainment system, you're really going to see improvements. And of course, with the addition of Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos for sound and all that, I mean, so they pumped in some new stuff in there for sure, and they lowered the price, and that's really the big one. So $150 for what easily I'd say is the best Android TV experience, because not only are you getting sort of Android TV with the apps and all that, but you're still getting access to GeForce Now and things like that. You are limited if you get the little tube guide. It's only got 2 gigs of RAM and not 3, so there are some titles that require the 3 gigs of RAM to run properly, like Doom 3, the Half-Life 2 series, et cetera, et cetera. Anything from that, I forget what it was called, like something the Streamlight or something Lighthouse, something. Anyway, whoever published all those PC games and ported them to the console, the Shield TV console, those will not work because they require 3 gigs of RAM. Anyway, $150. It's the
For the
cheapest
tube.
for the tube, which again, if you're not a hardcore gamer or a Plex pirate, then I guess you can just you'll
It's
live
sort of
with
all you need.
the
Yeah.
tube. I think so. I've been using it on my main, and it's wonderful. Oh, the remote is beautiful. There's a remote finder, right? So if you lose it in your couch or whatever, your big butt, you can find it via the updated Shield TV remote app on your phone. It's the whole experience is just getting better, and and we
It is.
know that Nvidia has a history of providing software updates. It's one of the most well supported Android devices ever to release.
I mean, they're still
So
updating the 2015 original Shield, right? It's 4 years now.
yeah,
Most people
that's
aren't still with Android TV supporting anything.
it's darn impressive. And the new remote works on old Shield TVs. So if you just want that remote, it's $30, I think. It'll be out in December. And you can just buy the old remote, which I'm gonna do. I'll buy the old remote and I'll bring it upstairs for my secondary Shield TV unit,
Yeah. I'm
and
gonna
life
do
is
the
gonna be
same.
good.
I'm gonna do the same. Like I bought the Pro to replace the living room one, mostly because I wanted the remote. But then yeah, I still have one upstairs. I think the 2015. And so yeah, I'm just gonna buy the new remote because the boxes still work fine. Like I have another one just sitting, like my old 2017 is like sitting in a drawer. Like I need to find some sort of use for it. But yeah,
Right.
the new remote, $30. It's like if you already have a Shield and you don't care about the AI upscaling, which does look fantastic. If you don't care about that, just buy the new remote. It is worth, like it is so much better than any of their old remotes, and it has easily replaceable batteries. It has a weird triangular shape, but it works. There's actual buttons on it, volume controls, a menu button. Like they added all these things to it. I know there's like a dedicated Netflix button, which I don't think I've ever hit one time, but I think like developers have already figured out a way to remap that Netflix button in case you don't want Netflix. Like, it's their new remote kind of just makes it. And maybe that's just because the old remotes were so bad.
Oh
This
yeah.
one's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, they weren't very thought out. I don't think the old remote controller, of course, is just a controller, and there's not much you can do to it.
Yeah,
But
they didn't even
yeah,
update that, right?
yeah. Haven't touched the controller. The new remote though, very awesome for $30. Works on the old hardware. Smart, and it's Bluetooth. It's got the IR, so you can control your TV. Easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think there was anything else I needed to say about Shield TV besides go buy one.
Yeah, for $150, cheaper than ever. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The tube though, like what did you do with the tube? Because I know they said it's meant to like go behind your TV, but they give you adhesive or something? Do they give you anything to like put it somewhere? Like
No,
where did you
I just stick it behind my TV. So my TV is mounted and it's at an angle because it sits like above my fireplace. So
right?
on an angle, and I just stick the TV on the on the mount on the mounting hardware. I
Oh,
mean, the tube's
that's
pretty.
where you put the shield. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just behind the TV.
Okay. I was
I
just
could
curious
like
if they
Velcro
included
it up and all
hardware or
that.
something.
No,
Yeah.
there's no included hardware. It's just the
Okay.
tube. Um, And I mean, and the power supply itself, it's all in line, right? It's all in the tube itself. So there's no brick that comes with it or anything like that. You just stick it into the wall, power, HDMI out, straight into your TV or wherever you put it. And that's it. I mean, it's simple. I mean, so simple my mother could probably figure it out. That's saying something.
Sweet. Yeah, I've had
Yeah.
the Pro and I don't have anything really to add to that because I don't play games really. I don't know why I have the Pro, but I do. I don't have a Plex server anymore. I have that remote though.
Good.
That's kind of all I care about.
Yeah.
Ben just asked when's trivia you're gonna leave. We have just a couple more things to talk about, and then it'll be trivia time.
We're coming. We're going.
Okay. So somebody mentioned this earlier about me with my Flip Moto and the Moto 360. So yeah, Moto Razr, the flippy foldable version, has since leaked. So EvLeaks posted a whole bunch of renders of it that, I mean, they look pretty official. So it's sure looking like flip phone Moto Razr is on the way. A little fingerprint sensor on the bottom of the chin, and then you have a camera that flips either way. Little mini screen up front, flips open. It looks like a Razr. Like it looks like the old school Razr, but just hopefully with modern stuff on the inside. Although wasn't there a rumor that this thing was only gonna have like a Snapdragon 600 series and it was still going to cost like $1,500 or 2,000. Like that kind of sucks. But
I didn't really pay attention to any of that stuff.
it
Too
could
early.
all be fine. Shows a 4G LTE logo on it. That specific 4G LTE logo, I believe, is a Verizon logo.
Verizon.
Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's the logo that it looks like. They show a date of Tuesday, April 3rd on it. I know sometimes that matters and sometimes it doesn't. But we are expecting Motorola to show this off on, what is it, November 13th? November 13th? A couple of weeks ago or a month ago, some invites went out to a Moto event in LA, and I believe it's for November 13th. And so we think we'll see it then. We won't be there for that.
Hey, you know why? Because they only invited influencers, and you and I are not influencers. Can confirm, not influencers. We did not get Moto flippy phone invites. Thank you very much.
No, they said we're basically not worthy.
They said we are nobodies. They said who? Droid Life? You know those guys who like basically carried our original Droid phone, who basically convinced the world that Droid was the coolest thing ever. You guys?
Yeah.
Nobodies. So you're welcome, Motorola. Thanks for the years of support.
So we're not quite influencers enough to go to Motorola's, but so yeah, if November 13th, if they show this thing off, actually, I'm not sure they're gonna like show off working units. I actually don't think so. I don't think they're gonna show off working units, and I don't think they're gonna let anyone buy it. I think it's still way too early. But when they do, we won't be there. So just keep that in mind. We'll bring you all the coverage somehow, some way. Don't worry.
Enthusiasts, as far as
Brad asks, Stadia review coming. We have the Founders Edition. Is it Founders Edition? I don't know. We have a Founders Edition coming, but
Kellen will be providing a full breakdown and overview of Stadia in the coming days.
Yeah, we'll poke around with the other 10 people who are going to sign up for Stadia, and we'll let you know.
Shots fired.
Yeah. New T-Mobile has some news this week. So the FCC officially signed off on their approval of T-Mobile and Sprint merging to form new T-Mobile. Of course, there's still lawsuits from attorneys general.
Thank you.
Yes. Who are saying, no, this would be bad. And so while all these approvals keep happening, there's still that. So we're not officially approved or fully go with the approval. But so T-Mobile, though, took this moment of FCC approval to say like, hey, we're going to do a bunch of more stuff with new T-Mobile. One thing, though, they're going to do right away is launch their 5G network. So on December 6th, they're actually launching T-Mobile's 5G network on their 600 megahertz low band spectrum. So that's good. Low band spectrum will be good to spread around the country. And they're actually saying that we'll cover 60% of people by December 6th, which is kind of crazy. Low band, you probably aren't going to get a gig down. So you're not going to get the wild speeds and stuff like that. 5G is a combination of low, mid, high bands all coming together to create this magical connection. So low band on itself won't be the greatest thing ever, but they'll have more coverage than anyone else. It'll be an interesting twist or spin they're going to play on that, because we'll see like what the speeds are in everyone's phone. If they buy a 5G phone from T-Mobile, it'll say like 5G, and then they're going to download and it might not be that fast. And we're going to go, what's the point? They're going to be like, yeah, but it's low latency or something, right? Like it's going to be annoying.
It's marketing BS.
Yeah. So to start, they'll have a Note 10 plus 5G, and then that new OnePlus 7 Pro McLaren 5G, 7 Pro or 7T Pro? 7T Pro? 7 Pro.
7T Pro. No, 7 Pro 5G McLaren. It's the McLaren. It's the.
I know, but there's a McLaren of the Pro and the T. It's the T. 7T Pro 5G McLaren. Yeah.
OnePlus 7T Pro 5G McLaren edition. Yes.
Yeah.
2019.
Oh my God. Yes, that's it. So those two phones, Note 10 Plus, 7T Pro, those are the two 5G phones that they'll sell that'll work on 600 megahertz. That might sound a little weird because a couple months ago in June, actually, they announced 5G in 6 cities, and they put up these maps that showed like basically a building here and there that might have 5G. This is different 5G. That was millimeter wave 5G. And there's actually an S10 5G that works on those. That S10 5G will not work on this new 5G. So T-Mobile when they launch December 6th, 5G, they'll have actually two 5G networks and phones that don't work between those. Like, this is the mess that is 5G. So keep that in mind. Do not go buy the S10 5G if they still even sell it, because it won't work on the new 5G network they're launching on December 6th.
Yeah, the fact that these 5G networks are so immature still and
Yeah.
not really and yet they still expect people to pay hundreds of dollars more for 5G hardware is baffling and downright criminal. Just go out and say that. It is a scam,
So
and
bad.
the FCC doesn't seem to care.
Oh,
Our
hell no, they
government
don't.
certainly does not care. I mean, you're talking the people in charge, people, are the people who worked for these corporations. It's a huge, it's a CJ. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna explain what CJ is, but that's what it is. There's something going on here. I think we need to take to the
5G
streets.
is a lie.
We need a revolution.
Just don't 5G. Just don't 5G anything for like 3 more years. And then we'll see where we're at. But right now, anyone that tells you 5G is here and that you should get on it is lying to you, because you should not get on it. And it's probably barely here. So related to new T-Mobile, though, I struggle to say new T-Mobile. It's a stupid name, by the way. But so T-Mobile said, if we become new T-Mobile, we're going to do some other things, like we're going to create a $15 2 gigahertz, 2 gigabits, 2 gigabytes, $15 2 gigabytes plan, prepaid plan. And you can earn bonuses and get more data over years by using it and do some other stuff. And they'll roll that out only if they become new T-Mobile. So it's a $15 plan, which sounds great, but it doesn't exist until they become new T-Mobile. They also said they're going to give a whole bunch of free internet to, is it 10 million people?
10 million lucky households.
Okay, so 10 million lucky households will get free internet for a while. It's part of like a homework thing, getting people the internet so they can do home, so their kids can do homework and stuff. It actually sounds like a pretty cool thing. Again,
Sure.
not happening unless new T-Mobile happens. And then the other thing is they're going to connect first responders for 10 years and spend $7.7 billion or something. So they're connected to 5G and all this stuff. And yeah, so they announced all these things, none of which happen unless they become new T-Mobile.
I think
The 5G is happening, though.
yeah, the 5G is happening. Another disgusting move by these criminals over at T-Mobile, and the new T-Mobile. So to dangle these things in front of us, as if they're carrots and we're all just a bunch of wee little wabbits, it's disgusting. It just go ahead and give us the $15, plan. Why not? We know that there are people who could use it. And these companies already have billions of dollars. What's the deal? You won't make a commitment unless we let you get away with this merger that could harm the industry and the
It totally
competition.
is, too.
Dude, I don't like it. And they brought first responders into it, which really grinds my gears, man. Don't mess with the first responders. Dude, these people are out here putting their lives at risk and like, hey, if you let us merge, we're gonna give you free cell phone service. Like that, man. Just do it in the first place. Why? Don't be evil. It's grimy. It's shady, I think.
The amount of
So
like freebies they're trying to concoct to hand out to everyone in order to get this approved is it has been something to see. That's for sure.
sure.
It
And
has been.
it sounds lovely, but then you remember that this merger has to take place. And not to say that like so Sprint in my mind hasn't necessarily been competitive as a carrier
No.
for years now. So maybe it's best that Sprint kind of goes away or gets absorbed by T-Mobile, but to offer something better, right? I think that even Sprint customers deserve better. They deserve good, right? They're paying money just like anyone else. So I'm pissed off. Sarah's asking if I'm feeling okay today, comrade. Like, why is everything not state run? Gosh, I just don't understand. Anyway.
Jeez.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, it seems a little weird that they're kind of holding these goodies hostage unless they get their merger approved. So just kind of weird. Eh.
As Rig says, why Max or bust?
Why Max or bust? Gary the fireman says Sprint dies without the merger. And God bless
Probably.
capitalism for what it is. And if the company doesn't do well, maybe it should die. You know, maybe that's just the way it should work. If no one's buying your cookie store closes. Make better cookies.
Make better cookies, Sprint. Vincent, yeah, we're using actual cameras instead of webcams.
Yes.
Okay, final topic. Google Play announced Google Play Points, which is a point system where if you spend lots of money throughout Google Play, it could be on movies, music, apps, games, all of that stuff, you earn points. And then when you get those points, you can then like use them to buy movies, games, apps, whatever. It's open now. You should be able to find it. Just flip open Google Play, swipe out your little side menu, and look for Google Play Points. Sign up for free, earn points. As Tim mentioned to me the day this was announced, this would have been great like 6 years ago when we all bought all of the apps we need, because no new cool apps come out anymore that you need to buy. So yeah, I got points though. I think I get them because I have like a Google One subscription, and there's some other reason like I have points. Like all of a sudden they just populated the other day. Yeah, I have 18 points. I couldn't tell you why. There's probably like a way I can find that out. But yeah, I have 18 points. I'm still bronze.
Is it like some subscription you have or something?
Yeah, so like I have a subscription to Google One. There's something else in there that I have a subscription for. But so yeah, you can tier up and then you earn more points per purchases and things like that.
Yeah, there is a points history thing you can go to, a dedicated page.
Okay.
I've got 0 points, so
nice. Mine must be from subscriptions. That's all I can think.
yeah.
So anyway, you can sign up for that if you guys want to. This is different than Google Play. What was the other one called? Where you can like pay to be a part of it. What was that called?
Play Pass.
Play Pass. This is different than Play Pass. This is Play Points. Play Pass. Play Pass is like already dead, right? I signed up for that thing because I think it was free and then canceled and then never signed. I just, all the apps were bad. So
yeah.
So this is Play Points. That was Play Pass.
Yeah, and this is free. I mean, if you're spending money in Google Play, you might as well do it and just get some points and use those points towards whatever you want. I mean, it's free. It makes sense. Why not? However, this is the type of thing that would be awesome 10 years ago when I started spending money on apps and movies and games and all that crap. Now that I've bought every app that I need, this is totally worthless.
It's basically only going to come from movie purchases now. So because I still buy movies, so it'll come from apps.
Same. Yeah. Otherwise, although technically I kind of rent them because like something about, although renting, that just seems like a total waste. It's like $6 for a 4K rental. Like I'm getting ripped off, man.
Yeah, I buy kids movies. That's the only ones I buy.
Yeah, he's got you.
Yeah,
that's how they get you.
One last topic. My dad, who was in the chat earlier, he has a 6T, and he just told me he did not get the big update to Android 10. Anyone have a 6T and can confirm to him that you actually received that update? They're really slow. OnePlus, I think, could be really slow. Anyway, trivia time? Is it trivia time? If Ben's still here, it's finally trivia time.
I hope he's still here. I hope we didn't let him down.
Because
good. This one's for you, buddy.
Let him turn the lights on. Okay, so DL Show trivia time. If you're new around here, at the end of every show, we do trivia. We have 5 questions, and we give prizes to 5 different people. So 1 winner per question. You can only win once per show, and we give you free stuff. So we put a question up on the screen. Tim reads it aloud. You answer in the YouTube chat live as fast as you can. If you're first on our screen, we call your name out. You win. I think that's pretty much. Oh, I didn't do trivia dance. I have a window right here. It's harder to get the trivia dance in. So that's pretty much it. 5 questions. As Tim mentioned earlier, this is the OG Pixel Edition. Rest in peace, friend. And 5 questions, 5 answers. Oh, what are we giving away? Droid Life t-shirts. So we have 3 t-shirt designs. Again, if you're on YouTube and you look below the video, they're probably showing right now, unless you have like an ad blocker on, whatever. 3 designs. We'll let you choose what you want, size, design, all that stuff. So yeah, free DL t-shirts to all of the winners.
Evan Brown with the $2 donation before we get started. Thanks for the Portland tips last week, guys. Hey, If anyone has a question about Portland, especially concerning beer availability and food in Portland, we're your guys. Hit us
Yeah,
up
that's
on
all
the
we do.
old Twitter.
That is all we do here. Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead and we'll get it started here on this beautiful Friday. Let's go ahead with question number 1 when you are ready, sir.
Zach Webb was not throwing shade ad blocking, folks. We all do it. Just giving you a shout out.
Definitely throwing shade and blocking folks. Please whitelist Droid Life. Come on now.
Question number 1 is up now.
What was the internal code name for the original Google Pixel XL? Again, what was the internal code name for the original Google Pixel XL? I'm seeing a lot of people say the smaller guy, not Blowfish. It was indeed Chris Williams with the correct answer of Marlin. So I saw some people saying Sailfish. That was the small guy. So Marlin was the big guy. Congratulations to Chris Williams.
Nate Clements, you were right behind him. Like you probably hit enter at the same time, but on our screen, Chris Williams is above you. Marlin.
Shamu. Unsupported fish. Love it. End of updates fish. You guys are so clever.
Rip fish. Yeah.
Rip fish. Yeah. Anyway. All right. That was fun. All right. Question number 2, please. This one's might be a little bit more difficult, at least for us.
I actually saw some people pre-doing this one. We'll see if they get it this time. Question number 2 is up now.
What Ingress protection rating, IP for short, did the OG Pixel and Pixel XL feature? Again, what Ingress protection rating, IP for short, did the OG Pixel and XL? Yep, Zachary Webb with the correct answer of IP53.
IP53. So you could tell, like, before you did question 1, some people had like the date up, like the launch date, and I saw a 53 drop. I knew somebody was just ready. Zach Webb with the IP53 on that one.
Congratulations.
Fisher McDonald. Yeah, you're right there. He was just right before you.
All right. Y'all still got 3 chances to win a sweet Droid Life t-shirt.
Right. All right. You ready? Question number 3?
I'm ready.
Question number 3 is up now.
What was the dessert name for the version of Android the OG Pixel and Pixel XL launched with? Again, what was the dessert name for the version of Android the OG Pixel and Pixel XL launched with? I am seeing Nick Fisher with the correct answer of Nougat.
Nick Fisher.
Nick Fisher. He's a winner. We got a couple of Fishers in here.
What was the number for Nougat?
7.
5? Oh, 7.
5?
That's Kit Kat. Yeah.
Noogie. Congratulations, Nick Fisher. Man, he's good.
Ben, not very close. I don't think. The leg is real.
Oh.
Yeah, Ben, you're about 6. Just throwing that out there.
Sorry
about it.
Nick is asking, is it the same shirt as last time? Well, we have different designs.
3 designs.
Yeah, we got different designs. So if you want another design, let us know. If you want us to give it to the other person, now would be the time. But I'll let you think about it. Go look at the designs. Maybe you'll like another one. Anyway.
Yeah, I should have had to like store up, but I don't. Yeah, so there's 3 designs. I believe there's 3 different colors of each shirt too. So you kind of have some choices.
Masterphone YT is saying, it is 8. Now I think Nougat 7 because 8 would be Oreo, 9 is pie, 10 is Q. So
come on now. Log into the store real quick to send a link to everyone so they can look if they really, really want to.
Droid Life. Yeah, Nougat 7.1 apparently. I mean, who really cares?
All right, there's a link.
Oreo is the best
if you really want to look, but we still have 2 more questions, so don't look too quickly here.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Question number 4.
Question number 4 is up now.
What Qualcomm-made processor did the original Pixel phones feature? Again, what Qualcomm-made processor did the original Pixel phones feature? So Ben Jacobs with the quickness. Correct answer of 821. He even got Snapdragon in there. Everyone else is going 821. Snapdragon 821. Would have accepted 821.
That's got to be just like a guess, right, Ben? How did you get
He
that
was
that quickly?
he was ready for it. I knew it'd be too easy for y'all. I knew it. Had it pre-typed. All right,
Well, I have
congratulations,
pre-typed,
one of
yeah.
our brand new shirts. That was offsides. Yep. All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Last question. Hope y'all are ready for this one because it's not that hard. It's just another good old classic pixel question. I'm ready when you are. Question number 5,
All right.
please.
Question number 5 is up now.
What was the official name of the limited edition color for the OG Pixel phones?
You got to get the
Again,
whole
what was
name.
the full name? It's 2 words. What was the official name of the limited edition color for the OG Pixel phones?
I think Sarah had that, maybe.
I'm seeing, Sarah Washington.
Sarah Washington, really blue.
Really blue. Sarah Washington. Congratulations. All right.
Brandon right
So,
behind Sarah, by the way.
yeah, right behind. So we've got our winners. We got Chris Williams, Zachary Webb, Nick Fisher, Ben Jacobs, and Sarah Washington. Pretty sure all y'all have my email, but just in case, winners, please email me. My my email is going in the chat right now. We'll get you what shirts you want. We'll get them ordered. We'll get them out to you. And you guys are going to look so good in your new shirts. If you don't get
so good.
compliments on the street,
I just posted a link to the store again if you want to pre-look to pre-tell Tim possibly which one you want, size, color, design.
Yep.
Pretty straightforward
That would be
stuff.
so awesome. That would save me so much trouble.
They are made to order, so we'll order them. They could take like a
2 weeks,
week,
tops.
10 days, something. Yeah, they take a little bit of time.
They're pretty quick.
Yeah, so that's mostly it for topics and stuff. Again, if you want to donate, we're still running our Cancer Research Institute donation drive, if you will. So October, November, December, any money you donate during the show live, we will donate 100% of that to the Cancer Research Institute to fight cancer. We had a whole bunch of donations early on, but if you want to continue that, you certainly can. Like Respin just gave $5 and said some DL love from Garden Home Growlers. That's my rest in peace to Garden Home Growlers. So Garden Home Growlers was like the spot that I'd go to almost, I don't know, a couple times a weekend to grab beer. Good guys. Great spot. We miss them. Can't wait for them to reopen a spot. If you live in Portland, they are hopefully reopening a new spot. Jody, 2 pounds. 2 pounds. Appreciate the 2 pounds.
Zachary's asking, do you know if how the sizes fit, small or larger? I think it's pretty true to size.
I think they're pretty true. I can't remember the actual tea cotton. They're listed as premium. I think I have a couple of these.
They're the kind of shirts I think you wash, but then hang dry, like air dry.
Yeah, they're next level. I believe they're 100%. It's been a while. Sorry, I should have one like handy and know everything about these. Yeah, I think they might shrink a little bit. They run pretty standard size. They're not like a slim fit. But yeah. Anthony Aravalo, $2. Appreciate that $2. Did you?
Nick
did
Fisher
you need to
is
rant
asking
on
us
these?
to give our shirt to the next winner, which shouldn't be too difficult as long as I know who that was. I see Zachary Webb was the next winner. Riggs, nope, wrong. Chris Williams, he was a winner as well. Nate Clemens. All right.
Are you back in Nougat,
So
Nate? Then.
Yep. So Nate Clemens.
Nate, if you're still here,
let us know, baby.
If you're still here, Nate, you get a t-shirt. Nick is giving it up. So if you're still here, otherwise Tim probably will just email you anyway because he has your email.
Probably have his email. Sorry, Riggs, you answered Oreo. You're not a winner.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, cool. Well, we'll get a hold of Nate. Nick, thank you very much. Don't worry, we'll take care of it. But yes, the rest of you, just let us know what you want, and yeah.
There was an earlier donation from Sandoval who said, I volunteered to do all your wearable reviews and unboxings. #cancer sucks. Donated $5. You said you'd get back to it. We try to do some mix of wearable reviews, but when it's like a hybrid, like this thing that I'm wearing, it's kind of, it may just because this one was like talked about for a moment, but mostly it's just Wear OS stuff.
Yeah.
Do you
Um,
have any ranting about the Ducks? Because
the
no
Ducks,
no Duck pros ever make it. According to who was that said that earlier?
some fool. I don't know who it was. Plenty of Ducks have gone on to have successful careers. I can think of a couple. You know, if you want to say Marcus Mariota has had an unsuccessful NFL career, I think that's a little harsh.
It's
I
been
think
really
he's
bad.
just he's in the wrong system. I think that much is clear.
Send,
He excels.
send him to Chip. Oh, Chip Kelly's not in the
Chip
NFL anymore
Kelly,
either.
poor Chip. Oh man, God, and so
Thanks, Ben, for the $2.
yeah, being a Ducks fan and a 49ers fan, it's so weird how the two organizations have kind of crossed paths with players like DeForest Buckner right now, who's on our line, and Chip Kelly. I thought I was going to be so excited when he went, obviously from the Eagles, the disaster he was with them, to the Niners. I was like, oh, this could be pretty cool because him with the Ducks was something magical. But then it was pretty rough. So, Chris is asking what team would I like to see him on then? Baltimore? Well, Baltimore already has like a quarterback I wouldn't let
Who's
go for
so much
anything.
better.
Yeah. um, maybe oh gosh.
Brandon Fisher
I
says
don't
Mariota's system involved throwing to wide open receivers, which isn't happening. Yeah, but you
put
couldn't
some
be more
talent
right.
around the kid. I don't know. I just think I think he's better than I think people give him credit for. When he was first in the NFL, he had some crazy red zone percentage, where
Yeah,
he
Ben.
just had not thrown an interception in the red zone, and it was impressive. And the kid still had legs. The injuries haven't helped. Everyone is, anyway.
You sound like such a Ducks apologist. I like the Ducks. I'm a fan. I watch them when they're around here.
Well,
He was super fun to
I
watch
was
in
a fan
college.
of
He has not
Marcus.
been a good. He's not been a good NFL quarterback at all. You only get so many tries in the NFL, and
Sure.
he just has not lived. I know they've gone through like 16 coaches and 15 offensive coordinators, but come on, dude, you got to work with at least one of them.
Hmm.
LeGarrette Blount has not been complete trash. Like he had a couple of years where, like with New England in particular, where he was like instrumental to their success. But that dude was crazy.
We're all a little crazy,
Poor
apparently.
Doug. It's mostly defensive guys. Their defensive guys that they send in the NFL are pretty good. Offensive guys,
Yeah.
their little baby running backs don't necessarily hold up that well.
No. Well, we did have one big boy, Freeman, right? What's Royce up to these
Is he
days?
with Denver? I think.
Might be.
I think he's with Denver, which they're
He was so huge. I mean,
Okay.
he's one of the best Ducks running
Big
backs
boy.
ever. Yeah, big dude. I don't know what his NFL career is looking like. I make a point not to pay attention to Denver because I have a friend who's a fan of the Broncos and can't stand the Broncos. So
No, not a Bronco.
yeah. Anyway,
Anyways, anything else going on? I don't really think so. My child turned 6 this week, which is weird.
congratulations. He's
Yeah.
almost as old as the website. You got your
He's
first
almost.
child, your second child just turned 6. Your first child's turning 10 next month. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. That's about it.
Dang.
I don't know what's going on in the world of Android anymore. There's no more phones coming out other than the foldable Razr, which we're not allowed to see. So we'll just probably review the Pixel 4 like 6 more times. When is DL's birthday? I believe the site was like a December. I don't know the specific date because it wasn't really like it was like a side project thingy in when it was first started, but technically it was December at some point. So yeah, I don't know. Should we do something for the 10th anniversary?
I feel like we should. Maybe
probably
a
do
little
something.
something.
Just take the day off, shut it down, call it a career.
Oh gosh. I know that's what you might like to do. But I'm still enjoying
I've never done anything
myself.
in life for 10 years straight. So that's it.
I
That says
know.
something. It says something. We're still doing
It's
it.
crazy.
We could definitely just do like a day long podcast and just like drink lots of beer.
That'd be kind of cool.
A fan meetup would be great, but like that's something we'd have to start coordinating like yesterday.
We always talk about having meetups, but it would have to center around something else that's going on, like CES or Google I/O, where
Yeah,
maybe there's like a
people.
culmination or like a grouping up of people, like-minded people who might know about Droid Life. If it was like a Portland thing, I don't know, there might be like what 10 of us or something. That's not like that's cool, but we
Yeah,
wouldn't mind having a little more than 10 people. Anyway. Not gonna re-review the Droid X.
So, Todd just dropped an oddly blue. Is Todd the new Larry? Todd.
Oh
It was called.
no.
That question was a long time ago.
Oh no.
No, Todd's the new Larry. Todd, the trivia is done, my guy. No Seeds B just dropped $1. Appreciate the dollar. You've donated a couple weeks in a row. Appreciate that.
I don't I just want to address this Marcus Mariota thing.
We're still talking about
God
Mariota.
for God forbid. I thought he was a really cool guy. Jimmy Garoppolo is my guy now, and Seattle's gonna come into our home next Monday, prime time, and we're gonna beat them. So there's that. I think that's all we need to care about right now is Jimmy G and the second coming. And Staley's back. Juice is back. We're gonna be what 1,000,000,000. We're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Hey, it's good
So
times
there
to be
you
a
go.
49ers fan. I don't know why there's so many people still watching us. We're like, the show's done. I mean, this is what we do at the end of the show, by the way. We're just BSing. Trivia's over. We appreciate you guys all hanging out, though.
Nope. Mahomes is done. Injury bug got him. Mahomes might be the next Marcus Mariota, man. He was kind of really good there at first.
Next Marcus Mariota, he's like an
about to drop
MVP.
off.
Mariota was never close to being an MVP. You cannot even compare the two. The dude in 1 year just destroyed like record books. Mariota's like, guys,
Riggs brings up the Madden
slant.
curse. And so I think
was he on? Was Mahomes on the cover this year?
Mm-hmm.
He just can't do it.
So
he just can't sign on for that.
Yeah.
Bring Ron back for 10th year anniversary. We could always do something wild like that. Bring Ronald back.
Crazy.
Bring Eric back.
Ronald just had his second child, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it second? Congrats, Ron.
Yeah, I think pretty sure it was second.
That's good times
Heck
there.
yeah.
All right.
Congratulations, Ron.
Bring
or he
back
had
Ron
a child.
Dave.
Someone had a child.
Someone went from Ron had two to I don't know, somebody had a kid.
Like, well, I know it was Ron. It was either second or pretty sure it was his second though.
Yeah.
Ron will let me know, maybe, possibly.
Well, we'll think about that, what we're doing for the old 10-year.
We've got time.
We'll do something. We've got a month, right?
Someone's definitely had a child recently in the world. Yes.
That's good there. All right. Well, got nothing else.
Anyway.
By the way, the new quality here is just fabulous. Thank you everyone for tuning in, because we have a new setup where we think the quality looks much better. We got rid of ditched the webcams.
Bye webcams.
So far everything's it worked well. We didn't have any crashes. Hopefully the audio's fine, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, talk about the new cameras. So the camera setup they're actually just older Sony A6000s that we've both just had sitting in a drawer for like 5 years. But you know, the power of computers, you can hook them up and turn them into really fancy webcams. And so we each have like a Zeiss 1.8 24 mil lens on there. So that's why you're getting that beautiful bokeh back here. Yeah, see back there. So that's what it is. We're just running actual real cameras, not webcams. So it's that quality. So we can't throw up phones like this anymore and have it autofocus because we both have that turned off. But I can like reach up here and like look at that.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Ooh, look at that clarity. We can do like really fun close-ups now, but then I have to like manually focus back to my face. So yeah, some cool stuff. I don't know why it took us so long to do this. Yeah.
I mean, in terms of Android podcasts, and trust me, we know the competition, and we have easily the greatest looking Android podcast in the world.
Who knows if the content is there, but it looks good at the moment. That's for sure.
Yeah, no. It looks
do I have dirty nails? I don't have dirty nails. They're short. Come on.
Well, I think because you French them, right, or whatever that is. Sometimes
I don't know what that means.
Well,
I
like
have
when
no
you
idea
have
what
like
that
a
means.
longer, when it's kind of longer, but they're like, they're made to look kind of pretty.
I
You've
try
done
not
that
to.
before.
No, if they ever
Yeah.
get any sort of long, the wife says that's gross. Cut those now. And so
Interesting.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I think that's
yeah.
pretty
See,
much it.
Zachary, I won't repeat what you said, but yes, I agree with you. I think it is better. And
I
yes.
mean, our setup is definitely not your typical former hangout setup anymore. We like it. It's been fun. I love setting things like this up. So I can't believe we're still here talking about this. Kellen, flip your video. I don't know how to do that. Now we're
Flip
getting
it, but
way too advanced.
why? Well, yeah, I guess. Well, flip it so it's more symmetrical with me kind of facing this way and you facing that way. Yeah,
Hello,
there you go.
Tim.
Yeah, that's
It's
better.
my monitor setup. Like I can move. Like I'm looking at the chat. That's what I'm doing. I could move it over here. Here, or I'll fix everything. Watch. Boom. All right. Hey everyone.
Hey,
Now
perfect.
I'm
Nice and
looking. Is
symmetrical.
that better? So anyways, I don't we should shut this off. I think we have stuff
Fine,
to
we're
do or
shutting it
something
off.
going. Thank you guys though. There's still a lot of people in here. Yeah, so we'll probably be back next week or so. We'll do something.
Yeah.
Again, we're kind of hitting that slow time now. Like every other story is going to be about a deal. So if you get bored with that, I can't say I blame you. I'm gonna fire up the music again. I don't know if anyone can hear this last time.
Oh yeah, you just drown them out with the music. Like
Outro
you
music
do a
has
riot.
started. Yeah, no, you hang up. So yeah, we'll be back as much as we can. It's just news might get a little slow, and we'll definitely do a 10-year show or something special for 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the holiday season. We'll hammer out the year and have some fun with it. So thank you guys once again for joining us.
Peace. Love.